Good morning, Ravens. Welcome to Atherton Air. I'm Duncan Irwin.
And I'm James Leach. Here's what's trending.
There's a lot of happenings outside of the walls of Atherton High School that's interesting to be wary of.
With the ending of the theater play, 12th Night, we cover the behind the scenes of the tech crew working to create these plays.
Atherton is full of creativity. And one of the ways the school expresses that creativity is through its theater department. One of the biggest student-led theater departments in all of JCPS. But there's one thing commonly overlooked in any theatrical performance, and that's its backstage and the tech crew's hard at work. From Dracula to Mary Poppins, the theater is always working hard to put on a show. Miss Steege, the director and theater teacher, is in charge of the whole production.
As a producer, I am there to assist and oversee all the different areas just to help as a support. Although I try and give a lot of the leadership and focus to my tech students themselves, but I help them out as needed.
One of the many parts of tech is the actual set of the performance. Maddie, the head of set, works hard with her crew to make a set that not only fits the show, but is safe for the actors to use.
I build the scenery for the shows. I build stairs, tables, anything they need. And we move around the furniture during the scene changes of the show. My favorite part is honestly the crew that I have working with me. But actual building, right, my favorite part is probably building the platforms that we make because it's really fun.
On a more technological side is the lighting for a show. Ella is one of the co-heads of lighting, in charge of setting up scenes and making sure actors can really capture the spotlight.
I do a lot of the technical design. I choose colors for lights and I set up a lot of the lights down in the theater. I'm working on 12th Night. I'm working on each scene one by one right now, but I'm just now starting.
Atherton's theater really is full of miracle workers. With Atherton on Air, I'm Zaxton Rothberg.
Congrats to the dedicated work from the theater cast and crew.
It's great to see students excel in their interests. Speaking of excelling, let's hear about the Atherton lacrosse team.
Spring is here. Do you know what that means? Sports. Here at Atherton, we offer many sports to keep students occupied in the season. One such activity is the boys lacrosse team, who started their season back in February. The team has been working hard to improve their season and their skills this year, but ultimately, they've gone off to a rough start. The head coach of the boys lacrosse team, Tyler Kordasich, tells us why the team has struggled so far.
So this year with the team, we're dealing with a strong core of senior leadership, but we do have a wealth of inexperience on the team because we're mostly comprised of freshmen and sophomore who just really haven't learned the game yet. But the boys are juiced, the boys are buzzing right now, culture's at an all-time high, and we're resilient. That's one thing about this team that we love is that even though it might seem we're starting out rough, is that we're really making gains every single game. And not just to be cliche and say that like a coach, but we really do get better every single game. And senior year, watch out, X.
The assistant coach of the boys lacrosse team, Coy Broderick, gives his take on how the team can improve.
We need to work on a lot of things. We're a lot of young players, so for the most part, we just need to keep playing lacrosse. If we can get these young guys, I think we're about 95% first-year players, so if we can get them to commit for 2 more years, by the time they're juniors and seniors, they'll be pretty adequate lacrosse players. It's a tough sport, a lot of details, but ultimately you got to just play the game to really understand it. Can't really expect the young players to just get it immediately, so there's a lot of expectations for the future, but we'll definitely get there. But obviously the stick skills, the shooting, just general IQ that comes from general experience. A lot of just details that come from general experience that take time. So yeah, if I think anything that could get us to be a better team, it would be for people to commit to the sport and commit their time to it, because that's what it takes to get good at anything, is putting your time into it. And I don't know, I think we got a good group of guys that seem to be passionate and seem to really care about the sport, and I really think that's all that matters. If you love the sport and if you love practicing, then that's what it takes to get better or to get good at anything.
The captain of the team, Spencer Marks, has some opinions on how they will perform in their upcoming home game on Wednesday.
Playing together, working together. I feel like in the past, even when I wasn't here, I heard that there were some problems about just working together. And this team, like they want to be out here, they want to get better, and that obviously shows. I mean, our record now has already been better than it was last year, and personally, I've made more goals last year. I mean, we've just been working together as a team a lot better than previous years.
Keep your head up, Ravens. Good times are ahead, and the season is definitely not over. I'm Ava Cochran for Atherton On Air. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for the updates. It's awesome to see Atherton students going above and beyond.
The Media Arts Academy is full of students known to be artistic and expressive.
The Media Arts program at Atherton High School offers students a chance to explore many different career paths. One of these opportunities is digital art. Students are able to create work on Photoshop using the tools that are offered to them. Ms. Rice, the digital imaging teacher, explains the digital art curriculum.
I'm Rachel Rice. I teach graphic design and the photography and yearbook classes here at Atherton High School. I allow kids to become certified in Photoshop and Illustrator now through the Career Tech Ed pathway. And so I run my own photography business on the side as well, and we're always looking for people to partner up with the graphic design pathway so kids can have real world experiences in graphic design, creating posters or creating logos or taking photographs for some event or some reason and get that experience of being a graphic designer and a photographer in one.
Toby Hudson, a sophomore, explains his enjoyment of the digital imaging class.
Recently we have been making portraits using Photoshop on iPads, and it really feels like drawing on a canvas, but we're using like all of these different brushes and strokes, and it makes it a lot more complicated, but in a very interesting way. So I find digital imaging to be a really interesting pathway because there's so much you can do.
Amazing work, Ravens.
That's all the time we have for today. For Atherton On Air, I'm James Leach.
And I'm Duncan Irwin.
Keep it real, Ravens.